What's funny is this model works so damn well. It's kind
Mhm.
of like, it kind of pisses me off. Necessarily capturing demand, but being able to kind of generate people who are interested in the products that we have for sale. So the way that this works, and I'll just use a throne for example, is level 1 is pure prospecting. They are having the website visitors, the purchasers, the page engagers, and the ad engagers all excluded. And this is targeting things like lookalike audiences, even Advantage Plus interests, work find, kind of really direct response, high CPM type of audiences. And then using a no cost cap, no bid cap, max conversion modeling for optimizing for sales and maximum volume of sales. The next one is the engagement campaign. What this does is it actually has all of the same exclusions as the L1. The difference is it is targeting people who are engaging with L1 ads. Typically, it has to be video because we do a percentile. So, for example, the engagement for Throne, you'll see that the audience still purchasers and site visitors excluded, but people that have watched 25% of the L1s, and we have them on a 30-day subscription to that audience because after 30 days, these people are just dead and gone. So it's a $4,000 hammock, so it takes a little while. But you'll see that each one of these things, when we have created them, were hand selected with the videos that were running in L1. And then it's sales cycle based on AOV. $4,000 product, 30 days, $300 product, 12 days. So then the L3 is your remarketing that is going after two separate audiences, your add to carts and your site visitors, but still with your purchasers excluded. And this on a high AOV is 30 days, on a low AOV is 12. So our sales cycle is about 12 to 30 days, depending upon if it's 300 or 3,000. It's going to be about, I would say 12 is fine. We can love on these people for 12 days, and then we're, dead and gone. Now, the reason why this sort of works here is you'll see on a weekly basis when you, not attribution models, we do the frequency starts to go up based on how much they are being, based on how they're being engaged. So you have the L3 remarketing, I pulled down a whole lot because we end up going into a time period where the market was crashing and people didn't really want to buy a $4,000 hammock. So we just kind of like, we held off a little bit. But typically before this kind of pullback, if you look at, this is a month period, yes. So but you'll see like it's 2,723, like it's insanely high. But these are selling thrones that are, $4,000. I'm okay with a 377, even though they're like half thrones, half not. And then you have the Vista that has like a 1.7, a 4, and a 13. It's a $400 product. And then you have your L1, 2, and 3 of hammocks, which is 2, 2, and 7. Fairly low $199 product. And we're not going to try to blast these. They're going to be more impulse buys so they can afford a shorter time period. Now, when we look at the difference, though, if I just take like the last 30 days as an example, and you customize this by comparable attribution modeling, your attribution modeling in-app will be able to kind of identify a systematized pattern, which is going to be in my L1s, I should have fairly close results to 28-day click. So 13 clicks, 16, that's direct response. My engagement is going to have 21 and 10. I'm going to have many more people that continually see that product end up going by. And then the same thing when you get up to hammocks, 31, but then 15. So this is more like direct response, needs a little bit more love, and then beam to death. And that's where you're going to get many more view conversions rather than 28-day click conversions, because your L1s are pretty much going to be where everyone starts. Same thing kind of right here is, 88, 73, then you got 57, 49, and they have 36, 27. So the further you go out, the more engaged view. The reason why this is important is not because this one's doing better than that one. It's not doing twice as good. You'll be able to see that the, oops, sorry, let me do this here. The 16, I don't know why it's like glitchy each time I hover over it. You see where this one here says, let's do it this way. Out of these three, obviously that one's not doing better than, or this one's not doing better than that one because it has 31 and 16. It's not doing twice as good. The way that we did this here is this has the cost is 7,000, 6,000, then 4,000. So you get twice as many conversions, obviously going up the funnel or going down the funnel, I guess you would say. You get twice as many conversions at the last step because you're generating them from here. So you always want to have your L1 more than your L2, more than your L3, L1 more than the L2, more than the L3, or depending upon how much you need to love on them. We needed on a throne for $4,000 hammock. I needed just as much engagement to get them to click as I did remarketing. So they're all going to be unique, but that's the structure. You're starting with generating cold traffic. You love on them more to get the click, and then you love them more to get the sale. So we started this on the 13th, and it has been working pretty good. So let's get this over here. Since the 13th, hammocks. So tomorrow will be a whole month, which is cool. So it's gone up to good. We can spend a whole lot less. We're engaging a lot more cold traffic that is quality versus kind of junky. And now we're looking good, back up 80% in media efficiency ratio. So it's good. It was able to kind of make a good sway in the right direction because of it. Any questions on those?
And John, sorry, just a quick question. Are you running different creative for each like L1 versus L3?
L1 is going to be more introductory, short, sizzly, fast, kind of, capture the or stop the scroll, capture the person's attention. L2, now that you have their attention, you can now beat them up with twice as many in frequency about here's everything that this is, then the reasons why you should buy it. So unique value proposition, unique selling proposition, different features, different, you can even kind of, throw in some UGC about how much they love this product and that kind of stuff. So you get to sell a little bit more. It's almost like L1 is like last water bottle you'll ever need in your life. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? It's like, well, it's got this cool pop top. It also locks it, bring it to the gym. It's got this handle. It's got this little bottom. It doesn't break. It stays cold. You do all that kind of selling of the product essentially. And then after they leave, which is remarketing, is they pick up the water bottle and they kind of think about it and they leave. Like that's where you remarket. It's like, we're having a sale, like going to be, running out of stock soon. Like, new products are becoming. So you're basically doing all of your remarketing. And that's an amalgamation of anything that delivers scarcity and sense of urgency, but that's where you layer in all your PLAs for your dynamic.
And are you running any stills or is it just all video?
All video.
Okay.
Yeah. The stills have been turned into video.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So the reason why I like video is because you get to engage engagement, then move into the next step. Seeing it as great, but watching 25% of a 2-minute video is excellent for intent.
John, quick question. So in this particular ad account, we were spending more on remarketing, right? But I think in Mozity, the products are like...
This is spending twice as much on prospecting than remarketing. L1 is prospecting, that always spends the most. L2 is engagement, spends the second most. L3 is remarketing, that spends the least.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, in that case, we can replicate the same for... I think the main product which we are marketing is all-in-one infuser, which stays out of stock mostly. So do you think it's the right time to implement this strategy?
No.
Right now, they were restocked. It's just not consistent. That's the problem.
So then we might run into performance issue again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to have Paul tell us when they're coming out of stock. What's funny is this model works so damn well. It's kind of like, it kind of pisses me off. Because like this is my little company here. We're doing this for, and like we have a like ours is going in the opposite direction because we're finding out that these things are just people buy them so fast because they're like a $10 item that we're like, oh, we're way overspending on L2 and L3. But you can deliver like a massive amount of, we actually paused our L2 and killed our L1. Then we reduced our L3 and then L2 and L1 went down. Like attribution is kind of stupid because when you actually get into the, when you kind of get into the back end details, you find that L2, even though it's excluding website traffic, is still like 75% warm. And then the L1 that's supposed to be pure cold is only 50% cold. So like, I've been learning through like Wicked and Northbeam how warm and how cold that traffic is, and it's heavily dependent upon what PLAs and how much ad copy that you do actually have. But we actually like sell like 100 of these things a month. which is not too bad for, you know, beef cheeks. This thing has a never-ending glitch, by the way. I don't know why this thing is just always like showing that it sucks free, but it was like we had one ad basically doing the majority of this thing. Like it's not difficult. Like you don't need a immense amount of amazing creative. This thing was actually just we paid $20 on Billo for this thing. And it's just this influencer that basically shows our product off and then throws it to her dog who loves it, and he just runs around and plays with it and that kind of stuff. But this thing, you know, it's now our best-selling campaign globally with a 70% profit margin in our company. And so it actually can really, you know, it doesn't take a lot of creative. It just takes consistency with the structure. And that actually really helps kind of move the needle. We look at like the last 30 days compared to last year, we're, you know, 20% up still. And this is like when you look at year over year, we're just kept this thing growing. Like it's growing 60% a year right now. It's insane. And we've been doing this since February. So it's had a really good ramp up. You don't need a lot of creative. It's the difference between, I just can't make the needle move in Meta, where it's like you're running on maybe Advantage Plus, you got like everything kind of amalgamated in one, and it's also getting other traffic and that kind of stuff. It just snipes all the fast, quick cost caps. It's like Performance Max. So this one is like, can I generate demand? Can I actually go after newer cold audiences that never heard about this product and then convince them to buy, same way you would if you're sitting at a trade show?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. What we're doing with that brand right now is and with a ton of accounts that I'm running, is just almost I'm 90% top of funnel traffic now, with really heavy exclusions across the board, because people just don't have that secondary piece of content with the call to action, the unique selling points, and all of that. That's the tough content that I'm finding people don't know how to generate or don't have on hand. So right now on multi-channel clients, what we're primarily doing is top of funnel, almost 90% on Facebook, and then letting Google do the majority of the retargeting.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I've been doing it like a different way. I've been pushing super heavy on Google, and then pushing as fast as I can on Meta, but then having my L3s just scoop up everything, which is why the L3s have like twice as many sales as the L1, because I'm generating demand, and so is Google. But you know, Meta's amazing for your marketing, way better than Google. So it's like if you have the ad copy, rather than just having one channel complement the other, you're gonna have two push, and then the best one scoop up everything.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Especially when we're running, like, we don't really give a shit about in-app, so we just like hit the gas and everything, like direct responsive, inbound standard shopping, inbound search. And then you can even run manual, because you can even go upper funnel with lower CPCs, because now you have your actual converting tool over on Meta. And one of the reasons why people that they try to take my strategy and skew it a bit, like online, what the people were doing was like, they took my idea of like the manual CPC. It wasn't necessarily to like lower bids all the way down to the bottom. I just felt that it can drop my CPC down to a point where then I start to lose the first position, and I would stop there and go back up a little bit. And then the whole point was it not being limited by bid strategy. So you keep the same position. However, you get the other incremental impressions. So things that are like, you know, the 80% of the people who are not ready to buy also will click on your ads. That's why all of a sudden your clicks just start to be maxed out, but your sales didn't start maxing out immediately. But if you have good remarketing on Meta, I can now start a whole bunch of newer, cheaper people who are maybe upper funnel that are not ready to buy, as my TROAS is just scooping up, albeit at a point of, you know, no scalability. But those people that are coming in, that are first click, that are more middle funnel, even more top of the funnel, but are still doing direct response inbound searches to me or a company like mine, now gets just loved on by Meta 22 times a month. So now that channel becomes viable again, measured MER. So kind of it works well.
Interesting. Cool. I feel like there's a ton of clients that we can start implementing this on. My brain's already running with it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great. The thing, it works so well. Yeah, it's fun. Going with.
Do you give relationship advice, John?
I do. The woman is always right. Next.
That's true.
After married 15 years, I just need to learn that the hard way.
Yeah. I don't disagree at all.
Financial constraints that they were having and wanted to review everything and start fresh with their meta ads. But anyways, we're rebuilding their platform, and I'm doing it in a very similar way to what I was doing for this brand. And what that looks like is, I'll start with the top of funnel.